Hey college and career success, so welcome to week 16 assignment video. Hard to believe this is it, we're done. Congratulations, the semester is almost over, you made it. So hopefully after this semester, if this was your first online class, you're feeling more confident, more comfortable with online learning. Although heads up, if you haven't already heard, in summertime, Blackboard is gone, Brightspace it will be here. So there'll be a whole new system to learn, but you will not be alone because all of the instructors are also going to be using it for the first time at Stark this summer. So just kind of keeping that in the back of your mind. But anyway, yes, we're here. We have done it. We are in week 16. So last and final time I will mention this, your workshop assignment is due. Our class ends Friday, May 9th. So depending on when you're watching this video, I did open week 16 early, so you may be watching this a week ahead of time or the week of, but please make sure that you submit your workshop assignment certificate of attendance. At this point, depending on when you're watching, there are probably no workshops available. So if you did not attend a workshop, unfortunately, there are no more opportunities. But if you did, just make sure you submit that certificate attendance certificate right here underneath that video. There's the Dropbox for it right there. Some of you have emailed it to me as well, and that's fine. All right, so just a reminder, weeks 1, 2, and 3 were already reopened for anyone to make up work from earlier in the semester. Week 4 is opening Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of week 16. So that 5th, 6th, 7th of May, your week 4 will be reopened. If anyone needs to make up work from earlier in the semester, that's your last chance for week 4. All right, let's scroll on down and let's go ahead and take a look at week 16. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and check out that chapter 12 lecture video. Chapter 12 is going to be talking about a little bit more like career discussions and kind of where do you go from here. So you might hear some callbacks from other things we talked about earlier in the semester, and that's okay. But go ahead and check that out. It's a basis for your understanding for the assignments. So this is a typical week other than the fact that it is done on Friday. So you have a discussion forum. As always, your attendance response is due by Wednesday for your week attendance, but you have to respond to 2 classmates by Friday. Also, your Chapter 12 assignment and your Chapter 12 quiz are due Friday, and your student workshop assignment due Friday. Hopefully I've made it very clear. This class ends on Friday. This is not a weekend class. We are done Friday. That way I can get your grades done and they will be completely ready to go. All right, so let's jump into your assignment. So here is your discussion forum. Again, you need to make sure that you respond to 2 classmates by Friday. Original response by Wednesday, classmate response by Friday. It says, what are the trends in your career? What jobs will be available and how much will they pay? What skills are most needed in the job market right now? So all of this that I'm going to show you, we've already talked about before. So this is just going to be a refresher of places you can go. The BLS.gov is one of these places that you can go to get this information. So it's asking about trends, jobs, pay, skills. This has all of that. So it talks about, pay, job outlook, or it's going to give you the trends. It's going to talk about how to become one. So you can use the BLS. You can also use, ONET Online. This is another place you can go to find this kind of same information. I'm just going to put in physical therapist. Although you might, whatever your field is, put it in there. And this one has lots of information as well. The other place you can go, career coach. So again, we've talked about all of these places. I'm just kind of hopefully refreshing your memory where you go to career coach and then you can literally just search careers. There it is. Go to a physical therapy assistant. I always fall back on. And then you go to the page and then here we go. Pay. Employment, this tells you the trends, tasks, skills, all of that. So any of those places, and that's what you're going to talk about. What are the trends? What is going to be available? How much will they pay? And what skills are needed? So go ahead and make sure you post that by Wednesday and then respond to 2 classmates by Friday. And remember, a meaningful response where you agree or add on or ask questions. All right, your assignment, what I love to do. So I think this is a fun one, honestly, but you're gonna open it up. It's one of these PDFs here. It says in the columns below, at least 15 things. Listen, I think that's a lot. So I'm going to say 10. If you can list 10 things, you'll get full credit. If you go all 15, you'll get extra credit. So it says, think about 15 things you like to do, activities, whatever it might be, and then brainstorm ways that you can earn money doing those things. And then how would other people benefit from that? So they give a silly example, but hey, if you like to take naps, maybe you could be a mattress tester, and then you could find, help others find. Maybe you like to read, and so you might be a book critic. And then that would help people pick books. Maybe you like to drive, so you could do, a Lyft. You help people get to their destination. So hopefully you kind of see what I'm going with. I've had people on here, they like animals, so they could start like a doggy daycare. I've had people talk about they like to do art, and so they could become a tattoo art, whatever it might be. So what you love to do. And again, this is kind of like combining what we talked about before, like creative thinking, but it's just, I know we live in like a very gig economy, so it kind of be thinking like that as well, where people have multiple streams of income. So I think it's kind of like a fun little thinking activity. So if you get 10, you'll get full credit. If you come up with all 15, you will get extra credit. And then there's a question at the bottom that what surprises you from their list and what excites you. So when you go to submit this assignment, you'll Dropbox it like you normally do. Make sure that you save it with your changes, Dropbox it, and then under create submission, you can answer those questions. The thing that surprises me, excites me, right there. And then you'll hit submit. All right. The other assignment this week, as you are hopefully very used to now, is your quiz for the chapter. So you'll open that up. And this is, again, make sure you are writing, 2 to 5 complete sentences. If we're using AI, it's to help us brainstorm or grammar check, but we're not using AI to answer these questions for us. Keep that in mind as well. So question 1, how can you use your college experiences to gain knowledge, skills, and abilities that will assist you in gaining employment when you graduate? So kind of what are you going to do and use and apply from your time in college to getting a job, whether that's like critical thinking, technical skills, networking, whatever that might be. Question 2, what campus resources and activities could you access to support your career exploration and your future employability? List 2 resources, activities, and describe how they could be beneficial. So this does not mean the classes that you're taking. This has nothing to do with your coursework. This is things outside and beyond that. So you could go, sorry, that is not the right page I wanted to go to. You could go to, let's go back to the Stark State homepage, where it says info for current students. Here are just a ton of resources. So you could talk about how maybe you're going to use career services, right, to help you. You could go to the student clubs and look at all the student organizations. Like maybe you can join a student organization, get some networking or maybe even some leadership experience. Maybe you might use military services if you're in the military. So check out these student resources, campus resources. The clubs are even a more specialized list, but that's what you're going to talk about there. It is not the courses that you're taking. It's things outside of the courses, resources, activities, and how you could use those to maybe put those on your resume. Question 3, because chapter 12 does talk about networking, you've been invited to attend a networking event. If you want to maximize it, how can you prepare for it? What are the things you want to do before you get to that event to make sure that you get the most out of it? Question 4, talk about these kind of soft skills, critical thinking, teamwork, professionalism, communication. Which one of those are strengths and how did it become a strength? Which one of those are a weakness and how can that impact you and how can you improve upon it? And then question 5, what's your opinion of volunteering while in college? And what does a textbook and a personal experience say about the benefit of volunteering? So when you're done with that, as always, you want to make sure that you go back here and submit in your Dropbox. Okay, so quick recap. Make sure, please, that you post your original response to the discussion forum by Wednesday, responded to classmates by Friday, submit your Chapter 12 assignment, Chapter 12 quiz, and student workshop assignment by Friday. Again, thank you all for a great semester. I really appreciate the time and effort and work that you have all put into, oh my goodness, that you've all put into this semester. I hope you have a great summer. I will be around until like mid-May, and then I'm here all summer long and back in the fall. So if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. Have a good summer.